Welcome to this special edition of Tornado Watch. I'm King, Director of Athletic Communications. Travis Chell here with Regina Doy and Marina Doy of the King Women's Wrestling team. It's been a pretty spectacular month for the both of you. WCWA National Championships last year, finished 1-2 for the second straight year at 101 pounds. And to get there for Regina, it was quite a long road to get there this year. Can you talk about some of the struggles you had along the way and just fighting your way to get to that national title match?
Yeah, well, I don't know if a lot of people here know, but I had recently had a heart condition, and it had actually been fixed in the previous year. I had surgery over at Stanford for the third time, and they were finally able to fix it, and then I had ended up getting recurrence, so I had to deal with that last semester. And then in December, I actually got a heart monitor implanted in my chest. So that was something very new that I had to deal with. And it was a struggle, a long road to try to cope with that and to try to wrestle and perform at my best that I could for at Nationals. So it was definitely challenging to deal with that. By the end of it, I already had 2 holes in my chest. The thing was literally piercing through my chest. So it did hurt a lot. But, I mean, in the end, I was able to make it to the finals, and I couldn't have been more happier for that. So.
Yeah, and then in the finals, you were scheduled to go up against your sister for the second straight year as she goes for her 3rd straight national title. But then she forfeited, giving you your first national title. Can you talk about what kind of went into that decision and when maybe you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, I knew how much she was struggling with her device. Being in her chest and wrestling with something metal in her chest, she had to get taped every day. And she worked, both of us, I mean, we worked hard. It's been our goal every year to make it into the finals, and we were able to do that again this year. But before we left, actually that Thursday morning, we were in our dorm room, and I had been thinking about this for a while, but I told her, I said, if we made it to the finals, I didn't want to wrestle her, and we hate wrestling each other. I use this analogy every time. It's pretty much like you're wrestling yourself. Like, how do you mentally prepare for that? And so I told her, it was our goal to make it to the finals. And we did that. I told her I wanted to forfeit to you. I don't want to wrestle you. And she's like, well, Marina, you're going for your 3rd national title too. I mean, I haven't really even had a point scored on me in my weight class since November 2015. So, which I was able to still go through the tournament not being scored on, which that's been one of my goals. But yeah, I mean, once she won her semifinals match, it was a tough match, 6-6 against Asia Ray from Wayland Baptist. She came off the mat, tears, and my mom was giving her a hug, and then I was like, Mom, give me a turn. So I gave her a hug, and people were taking pictures, and I don't think anyone really quite understood at that moment that was it for us. Like the semifinal match, that was our last match, really wrestling wise. And then when we made it to the finals, no one knew up until the point that we shook hands. Like everyone thought we were wrestling. People our teammates, our parents, everyone kept asking, are you going to wrestle? Are you going to wrestle? And I just avoided the question completely. I told them, well, there can only be one champion. So, we didn't get our hair braided. We hardly even warmed up. So people didn't really catch the signs. They assumed that we were wrestling. The only person that knew really was JM. And then Aaliyah, our teammate, she kind of found out too the night before. But I think leaving it off like that, I think that was exactly the way I wanted to finish not only the tournament, but our careers. We left our shoes out on the mat. It was a good way to end 18 years of wrestling for the both of us. So, and I think our wrestling careers coming to an end, it's pretty crazy because we both sustained a lot of injuries, especially her going with her heart condition. And I don't know if too many people know, but just exactly 1 month prior to Nationals, on January 9th, I suffered a pretty bad concussion. And I don't remember a lot from the night. I wrestled up a weight class, and I was told by the neurologist, who wasn't even there in person, he was on a screen, and he told me word for word, your wrestling days are over. And so being in that state of condition 1 month prior to Nationals and then going in and being able to make the finals, I think that was a huge accomplishment in itself. So I wouldn't have been able to do those things if it wasn't for the support of my family, teammates, and athletic trainers, and Dr. Campbell, our school physician. So it was a long season, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of perseverance here for your senior year. Talk about, you thought about this and doing this for your sister and all this stuff. Talk about the reaction you received in the arena and since, and kind of your reaction to that, if you ever thought it might be that big, or what kind of, there wasn't a lot of tears by people you didn't know, people come up and talk to you. Talk about that reaction and what your thoughts are on how some people reacted to that.
I mean, it was extraordinary to see all the people like standing up. Like we got a standing ovation, and I mean, I knew there were people that had known of me and Marina because there's not too many like twin wrestlers that go out and compete. But like seeing everyone stand up and clapping for us, and then all the people that came up to us afterwards, and you know, just everyone had tears. And something that my brother said to me was like, you know, you guys made an impact when you can make a whole gym, you know, cry, because something like that is just, you know, that's how much you guys mean to the sport. And to be able to see that reaction, to be able to see how people really thought of us as something special, it really made it, that moment, even more special. So it was great. I can't even tell you, like, just seeing everyone out there, it was awesome. It was a great moment.
And has it changed now that we're almost 2 weeks out here? Is it kind of the same? Is there any different thoughts reflecting on that? Has it kind of sunk in yet?
I wouldn't change any bit of it. You know, like, you know, just I keep going back and watching like the video, and I'm just like, wow, we really had like a standing ovation. Like that is insane to think about. But yeah, I still kind of get emotional thinking about it, because that's it. That's our last match like ever. But again, like, we still want to stay involved in the sport, you know, to try to help coach and teach as much as we can, and support, you know, all of these teammates and friends that we've made throughout the sport. So I think looking back, it really was such a great night, and I wouldn't change it at one bit. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And people like ask us too, they're like, well, what are you guys gonna, like, how does it feel now to be done, to be retired? And, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm still kind of numb to it still, but my body is like kind of thanking me, because I'm like, I've been taking such a beating, like, you know, just getting all the extra lifts in, all the sprint workouts and stuff. And it's so weird now. It's kind of like a relief, because now I don't have to worry about, oh, what's the next tournament to train for, what's next competition and stuff. So it's a bittersweet, but I'm very glad to have done it the way that we did.
Well, that's the story from the last few weeks, month, senior season for a couple of the Tornado women's wrestlers, and a pair of sisters from California coming all the way to Tennessee. Thanks for joining us today, and
thank you.
good luck after King.